welcome to our first ever episode of Breaking Barriers, the Mental Health Podcast. I'm Lizzy.
And I'm Camila.
We're so excited to be doing this, to be bringing this project of love, of self-growth, of growth mindset. We're bringing this to you guys. We're going to tell you a little bit about us before we get started. So I'm Lizzy. I have a master's degree in psychology, and I've been working with seniors in their end-of-life stage and the grieving process for over 20 years now.
And I'm Camila. I just finished my studies. I completed my master's degree in nursing. I'm going to be a psychiatry and mental health nurse practitioner, so I'm only pending my boards. And I'm hoping to be changing some people's life the same way that, we talk about mental health, how it affects everything that we do. We see the need that is happening today. So we want to bring together this new project to you.
And we're going to be discussing all kinds of different topics that really touch our daily lives. We're going to talk about fears, anxiety, loss, depression, just an array of different topics. And so together, we're going to dive deep into these things. And we ask you to please follow us on this journey of growth.
And we're not going to only be talking about it ourselves from experiences that we have had. We're going to be bringing guests for you, so you can hear from them too. They're going to share their experiences. They're going to share the things that they have gone through in life to be where they are right now. And hopefully you can take something from it. You can resonate with it. You can connect with us, with them, and maybe you can change your life too.
And these people that we're bringing on to our podcast, these are experts in the field and the industry. So healthcare professionals. These are going to be everyday people really sharing their testimonials, their stories of triumph, of heartbreak, of love, of empathy. And again, together, we're going to go on this journey and grow.
Because that is life. All of this is about life, how we can make our life better, how we can make your life better, and how we can have fun too.
So I want to tell you guys the story of how we met. So Camila and I, we actually work together. We've been working with the senior population now for a long time. So a lot of the information that we give on this podcast is really going to come from our experiences working with seniors. So one day we're having a conversation, and unfortunately, she and I did go through loss. She lost her mother at a very young age. I lost my father at a young age. And one day we're just kind of talking about that. And that conversation went in so many different directions.
We started talking about life, what it means to be a woman, how nowadays there's like a bigger stigma around mental health, especially in the Latin communities. So we said, you know what? With our backgrounds and the conversations that we have in every day, even with your friends, your spouse, we said, wouldn't it be a nice idea to do a podcast? Just thinking about it. And then she took it home. And her husband said, you know what, that could be actually a great idea. I'm like, really? Okay.
And fast forward, we're here on our first episode of Breaking Barriers, the Mental Health Podcast. Yes. So we're so excited.
And this is coming out in May. We're in May right now, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. So that was our plan. And it is scary. It's exciting, but it is scary. Because we understand that we have to be vulnerable out there, that we are going to be scrutinized by anybody that listens or watches. And it's okay, because ultimately we believe that everything happens for a reason. We have a higher purpose, and we're going to go with it.
So a little bit about me. I am married. I have two beautiful girls, 12 years old, and my youngest is about to be a year old. They are my heart and soul. They are my heartbeat. They are everything to me. We have been in the healthcare industry, my husband and I, for over 25 years, working specifically with seniors that are dealing with all kinds of cognitive impairments, such as dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. So a lot of the information, a lot of the advice, the tips that we give is really going to come from the experience that I have working with seniors.
Okay, so a little bit about me. I was born in Cuba. When I was 9, I moved to Spain with my family, so I was raised there. I lived there around 8 or 9 years. Then I came to the States with my father. My sister stayed over there. I am 28 years old. like I said, I'm just done with school. I have a passion about mental health. I've always loved psychology, psychiatry, what makes a human unique, what makes you you, what triggers you, what makes you vulnerable and emotional. I guess it comes a little bit from the sense of power that when you get to know someone, what triggers them, you can manipulate them. Even if that sounds a little weird, but in reality, we all do that. I do not have children. I do not know exactly. I do not know exactly what I want to do in life, in the sense that the timeline, when to get married, when to have children, I don't have a plan. I'm just going with it. But I know that at work, and that's what we're here too, is I see all these beautiful, amazing women that they're also, some of them in school studying, some of them they have the children, they're married, and they have to be excellent at their profession, but they also have to be excellent at home. And I see them, I admire them, I see you, I admire you, and I just don't know how she does it. I don't know how women do it. And anybody dealing with a similar situation is something to look up to. And it may come naturally, it may not, but we need that, feedback, that support from people so you can
From
learn.
each other.
Yeah.
And this podcast is really to build a community. Because you learn from me, but I also learn from you.
Yeah.
And this is really to build a community, to learn from each other, to provide resources for all of you. We understand that mental health and the stigma around it is something that it's very much a problem present in society. And so we want to be able to touch on these topics that are really affecting our daily lives. So as we mentioned before, it's going to talk about anxiety, fears, depression, loss, relationships, how to identify toxic relationships. So all these different things is what we're going to touch on this podcast.
And as you engage in social media and you see the videos, you hear the podcast, we want to hear from you. We want to see what are your thoughts about it. Maybe there's an experience that you want to share. You need advice. Hear from us. We want to be your safe space. We want to be your big sisters. That person to rely on and bring it on, and we'll be able to bring out and give back that content that you're looking for, because although everything that we want to do is to break down the stigma around mental health.
So now that we've touched on us and what this is all about, I do want to discuss something that I think is something that comes up, right, all the time. Judgment. Sometimes, or more often than we would like to admit, judgment and the fear of judgment from others keeps us from really living our best lives.
Yeah.
For example,
us.
We've been so scared about putting out this podcast and what are people going to say about us, and what are they going to think about us? So we're living in a perception of a perception, right? Yeah. Well, I say, forget the judgment. Let's move forward. Yeah. If you are right now listening and you were thinking about writing a book, you were thinking about starting your own podcast, you were thinking about leaving your job and pursuing your dreams, just do it. Do it and forget about the judgment. Look past that and actually ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen?
Nothing. You stay where you were. That's it.
Right. You stay exactly where you are and you don't move forward.
Don't want to be old, like in my 70s, 80s, and then thinking, oh my God, I really wanted to do this and I never did.
So to that, my friend, I say, I don't care about the judgment from others. We are here to help. We are here to serve our community. We're here to talk about the things that maybe people are scared about talking about. And we're here to be here for each other. Break barriers.
Gonna do it.
Cheers. Oh my God, that's good. I needed that.
Okay. On to the next.
So, practical tips that you can apply right now in your own life. And this is something that I live by. So I wouldn't tell you something to do if I'm not personally doing it myself. First of all, reflection. At the end of every day, when I've tucked both of my daughters into bed, I'm done with all the craziness of work, I've done homework with them, I've now tucked them both into bed, I do my time of reflection. I reflect on everything that went on throughout the course of my day. my interactions, my conversations with people. And I think back and I say to myself, could I have handled that differently? Could I have been a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more understanding? Could I have been a little bit more assertive? So I really like to reflect. It's my time at the end of the day for reflection. And I think that helps tremendously with your growth mindset.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I'm still in my own learning process of things that can work for me and that I want to do. But lately, I don't know why, and maybe we can go through my own journey together. I'm going back to my faith. So I've been starting to pray at night before I go to bed.
Very good.
So that's for me.
That.
So find your own faith, your own beliefs, and dedicate some time to it. You only lose 5 minutes doing it.
I love that, Cami. So guys, these are just our personal tips. These are things that we're doing in our personal lives that we hope will work for you. Try them out this whole week. See what you think. Please engage with us in social media. Give us your feedback. Tell us your tips. Share with us all the information that you can.
Thank you guys for tagging along in our first episode. We encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. And that is it for today's episode. Don't forget to prioritize yourself. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for joining us. Cheers, my friend.